الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
اللهم رب هذه دعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة والمقام رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا بمحمد نبيا. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدى هدى محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة دلالة وكل دلالة في النار. Verily all the praise and certainly all of the glorification and all of the magnification, it should only be for Allah and Allah Ta'ala alone. And I publicly, I inwardly, and I outwardly declare and attest without any coercion, without any constriction, that there is nothing worthy of worship, la ma'bud bihaqqin illallah ta'ala. And I bear witness that Abu Qasim sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Muhammad ibn Abdullah, as-Sadiq al-Masduq, al-Amin. Muhammad ibn Abdullah was the last messenger sent to guide me and you, brothers and sisters, from the darkness into the light. And in Wana Yom, the topic for today, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, is The Quran is in your hand, Ya Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The Quran is in your hand, O Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The question comes, what are we going to do with it? What am I going to do with it? What are you brothers going to do with the book of Allah Ta'ala? There's few names, Ya Ikhwan, Allah mentioned, and there's more than 70. But inshallah, Al-Furqan, Allah gave this descriptive term. Al-Kitab, Al-Huda, Al-Tanzil, Al-Bayyinah, Al-Shafa'ah, Al-Mubin. These are just some of the names of this book. What are we going to do with it, Ya Ikhwani? As we know, Allah Ta'ala, He has given us a great blessing. وقال الله تعالى بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم واعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا يا إخوان. All of you collectively hold together to the rope of Allah and do not become divided, ya ikhwan. Going back and reading from Imam al-Tabari, Ibn Jariya al-Tabari, Sahib al-Fadila, ya ikhwan, from the grandfathers of tafsir. All those brothers that like to read tafsir, if you're not going back to Imam Ibn Jarir, first and foremost, ya ikhwan, you got some problems in your understanding from amongst the understanding of the principles of tafsir. If you go and you read his tafsir, ya ikhwan, you'll find him quoting Mujahid, him quoting Ata'a, him quoting Al-Qatada, him quoting, ya ikhwan, many other Sahaba, Tabi'een, Itba' Tabi'een, saying that the Habla of Allah, Ta'ala, it is the book of Allah. Sometimes you'll find it saying it is the Jama'ah, or it is Ikhlas, or it is the Deen. But from what I read, ya ikhwan, last night, most of the Tabi'een, they said it is the book of Allah Ta'ala. And before we get into the information, ya ikhwan, reading from amongst so many ulama, I came across the principles of tafsir, which I'm doing a program this weekend. Ibn Taymiyyah, according to him, he said that the Quran was revealed for three things. Number one, to worship Allah by reciting it. To worship Allah by reciting it. Number two, to understand the meaning. To understand the meaning. Number three, to act according to the Quran, ya ikhwani. This is why the Sahaba, radiallahu anhu, they are different than us, brothers and sisters. They would not pass 10 ayat from the book of Allah. They would not go past 10 verses until they completely understood it, acted upon it, and they learned the Quran by heart, ya ikhwan. Hifdh al-sadr. It was in their heart, not just on their tongue. And my dear brothers, the topic today, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, is the Quran is in your hand, but it is also in the hand of Allah Azza wa Jalla. We came across a hadith, and I was sitting amongst a whole bunch of brothers more knowledgeable than me, and I said, have you came across this hadith in your lifetime? And I showed it to them, and they said, no, we've never come across it. This hadith, it is in Imam Tabarani and also in Imam Suyuti in his book, Al-Jami' al-Saghir wa Ziyada, wa Shaykh al-Albani, he made the hadith Hasan. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أبشروا فإن هذا القرآن طرفه بيد الله وطرفه بأيديكم فتمسكوا به فإنكم لن تحلكوا ولن تدلوا بعده أبدا. Ya ikhwan, I don't know if you heard this hadith before. I have been Muslim for 33 years. I just came across this hadith from one of the books of the Mashaykh who's living, Sheikh Fawzan, Hafidhullah Ta'ala. The Prophet went on to say, give the glad tidings. Verily, one end of the Quran is in the hand of Allah, and the other end of the Quran is in our hands. Adhere to it, you will not be destroyed, and never go astray after it. Now, as you notice, ya ikhwan, when I was describing the hand of Allah, I put my hand back. But then when it came to our hands, I put my hand forward, ya ikhwan. Showing the aqeedah sahiha, ya ikhwan. Laysa kamithlihi shay'an, ya ikhwan. We know who we are worshiping as new Muslims. As some of the people, they don't think that the new Muslims understand the religion. But coming from Christianity, ya ikhwan, and going to the land of the Muslims, where the qira'ah is mutqin, ya ikhwan. They recite Quran better than me and Abu Hafsa. We're new Muslims. But you see the Muslims making shirk akbar at a grave, ya ikhwan. And they say that your mukharaj haruf is laysa jaydan. Say, your ibadah is laysa jaydan. Making sujood to the qubur of a sheikh. So, ya ikhwani, this revelation of Quran, it is a serious thing. It changed my life. It changed Abu Hafsa's life. When we first heard the book of Allah, ya ikhwan, it shook our heart and it brought us to tears, ya ikhwan. Hearing the book of Allah for the very first time. Coming from a land, ya ikhwan, where the people, they don't worship Allah. And many of our brothers, recently you've come here to give some dawah, mashallah. You left all the things back in your country to come here and to give us dawah. May Allah reward you all. وقال الله تعالى وإنه لتنزيل رب العالمين نزل به روح الأمين على قلبك لتكون من المنذرين بلسان عربي مبين. Brothers and sisters, me and Abu Hafsa, we got our own languages. Me and him can speak in some languages you guys never heard before. But for us, we never wanted to learn the Arabic language till we were told that the book of Allah is in Arabic, that the Prophet ﷺ, he spoke Arabic, and if you want to understand the book in the Sunnah, you got to learn the Arabic language, ya ikhwan. For us, it's not a game or a joke. This is the deen of Allah Azza wa Jal. وقال الله تعالى كنوا ربانيين بما كنتم تعلمون الكتاب وبما كنتم تدرسون يا إخوان. This verse is so beautiful, my brothers. Be you all studious worshippers, scholarly worshippers of Him, for you have taught the book and you studied it. So before you can teach, you have to study, ya ikhwan. You can't have a PhD in being a dentist or an engineer, and then, mashallah, you get on the membar and your doctor, ya ikhwan, doesn't leave from that science to this science, ya ikhwan. And I had a big debate with one brother I'm very close to. I don't want to say his name, Dr. So-and-so in Mississauga. And he said, no, but you have to respect the title. I said, yes, when you're in your manzila, mashallah, you're a doctor. But now when you get up here, unless you got a PhD in Aqidah, Arabic language, tilawat al-Quran, or any other sciences of Islam, ya ikhwan, you're just my brother, mashallah, tabarakallah. The brother who has a PhD in Aqidah is not the same as the dentist who we call him doctor when he gets on the member, ya ikhwan. Words are important, my dear brothers. Words are very important, especially if you want to now tell the Muslims that you have to have the fear of Allah. As all the Muslims, they come and they tell us, new Muslims, ya akhi, fear Allah. Say, barakallahu fiqh, ya akhi. Which fear are you talking about? Because remember, we don't know Arabic. Are you talking about ittaqillah? That's a type of fear. Are you talking about al-khawf? That's a type of fear. Are you talking about al-khashya? That's a type of fear. These are all different types of fear, ya ikhwan, but they're all different. But yet it's translated in English to fear. So my dear brothers, my words, his words, your words are like the words of Allah. This hadith is in At-Tirmidhi, Ad-Darimi, and this hadith is Hasan. Maybe you never heard this hadith either. Fadlu kalamillah ala sa'iri. Al-kalam kafadli ala khalqih. This hadith, ya ikhwan, goes on to say that the superiority of the speech of Allah over all other speech is like the superiority of Allah over His creation. Ya ikhwan, as a new Muslim, I've seen Muslims, when I learned enough Arabic to say, well, call Allah Ta'ala, Allah said, yeah, but brother, yeah, but brother, yeah, but brother, you're interrupting, I'm reciting the book of Allah. Those aren't my words. When I say call Allah, those aren't my words. But then people, they get upset, ya ikhwan. The words of Allah are precious. They're supposed to make us do something with our life. Ya ikhwani, the Quran is in our hands. But maybe the Quran is a little bit too heavy for some of us. Maybe it's just too powerful for us. Maybe, ya ikhwan, we can't hold the weight. May Allah help us. La samahullah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضى. The Quran is heavy, ya ikhwan. The Quran is heavy, ya ikhwan. The Quran is heavy, ya ikhwan. When we look at the book of Allah Azza wa Jal, ya ikhwan, Allahu Tabarak Ta'ala, He mentioned it, ya ikhwan. لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله. The Quran is heavy and powerful. And we have sent down this Quran upon the mountain. Had we done it, you would have certainly seen it humbled and torn apart in the awe of Allah. The mountain is a creation of Allah. And it's scared of Rabbul Izzah's words, ya ikhwan. We hear the words of Allah and sometimes they don't shake our heart. The Quran is heavy, ya ikhwan. It's a heavy thing. And another evidence for that, my dear brothers, وقال الله تعالى إِنَّا سَنُلْقِي عَلَيْكَ قَوْلًا ثَقِيلًا يا إخوان. These are just two verses talking about the heaviness of the book of Allah. Verily, we shall send down to you a weighty word. A weighty word to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Here's the deal, brothers. The Prophet sallam is a conduit. He's a connection for us. The revelation came from Rabbul Izzah to the angel Jibreel to the Prophet sallam. He is the medium for us to get this message. And he had to endure so much pain, brothers, to get the wahi. Ya ikhwani, we find that they used to call the Prophet ﷺ a horrible name. Madhaman, the dispraised one. They made fun of him. They called him a sorcerer. They called him a soothsayer. They called him a magician. They called him majnoon. They called him a kedhab. They called him a liar. They called him a crazy man. But he came to bring this book of Allah to me and you. That the pain the Prophet ﷺ he endured, ya ikhwan, they put on embargoes upon him, which we're seeing now in the Muslim world. They tried to kill him, which they're killing the Muslims in the world. They tried to boycott him. They lied on him. They mocked him. They belittled him. They fought against him. The question is, ya ikhwan, can you taste the sweetness of the Quran? You're getting it for free, ya ikhwan. And the Prophet ﷺ, he went through so many things, ya ikhwan, and we get the Quran for free. We get it for free. Ya ikhwan, this Quran, it will vitalize you. It will mold you. It will lead you. It will bring you back to life. It has so much blessings, ya ikhwan. It will bring you a new existence. Before me and Abu Hafsa, we became Muslim, we were just walking around with our soul going nowhere, ya ikhwan. And the Quran came and it changed our heart. This is an endless journey, my brothers, a journey of joy and riches from the Creator, Rabbul Alameen, to us, to all mankind. It is filled with wisdom and insight on the pathways of life. It is a radiant light to illuminate your soul, ya ikhwan. It can melt your heart. It can bring you to tears. It can lead you to the success of the dunya and the akhirah. Last night I was in Milton and I prayed behind a young boy, maybe 18 years old. And man, he was ripping in my culture, we call it, man. He was blowing. Oh man. That Abu Hafsa was mutqin, ya Sheikh. The Sheikh was blowing and all of us, man, everybody in the row, crying. He was quoting the verses about Allah Azza wa Jalla, talking about the mother and how the mother gave us birth. And pain upon pain, and the sacrifice, and not to say oof to your mother. Ya ikhwan, it hit us, ya ikhwan. This is what this book is supposed to do. So now the question comes, brothers. When the Prophet ﷺ, he got this beautiful book, and we're going to end it with this, brothers. He went through so much sacrifice. And this is just only a little bit of what I told you about what they tried to do to him, ya ikhwan. قال الله تعالى فاصبر على ما يقولون. If you cling to this book, brothers, I'm telling you guys, being born Muslims, maybe you've never been kicked out of your house because you became a Muslim. I've been kicked out of my house. Abu Hafsa's been kicked out of his house because we said, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah. Our parents said, get out. Am I lying, bro? Kicked out for wanting to practice Kitab and Sunnah. Made fun of for wanting to practice Kitab and Sunnah. I expect that from the non-Muslims. I expect that. But when the Muslims, they make fun of you for trying to practice Islam. And I was telling one of the brothers, I was sitting with some Arabic-speaking brothers, and they said, هذا الرجل ما عنده العلم. So yeah, all of us have no knowledge. Allah is Al-Alim, and there's always somebody above us that has more knowledge than us, brothers. But the question comes, my dear brothers, the knowledge that we have, what are we doing with the knowledge? You have the Quran in your hand, what are you going to do with it? We have to make changes, brothers. I need to make changes, brothers. You need to make changes. If the Ummah makes changes, brothers, then we'll be the strangest strangers. Yeah, strange people for holding on to the Book of Allah. With that, هذا ما عندي وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك وأشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت ونستغفرك ونتوب إليك. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك مجيد. May Allah bless you all, brothers. Hold on to the Book of Allah as it is our lifeline. It is the Habl of Allah. Aqim as-salat wa yarhamukallah.